It's a battle any parent can relate to, trying to get the kids to go to sleep in their own bed. Let's face it, in the end, you sometimes give in, let them jump in with you. But that usually stops when they get older. Not for one mum. She has hit the headlines today for controversially asking this question. Is it wrong for me to sleep naked with my son, who is 16 years old?
Well, the answer is, I'm afraid, yes, it is. Absolutely is. I mean, 16 years old, that son is going through all sorts of things himself, you know, without any other complications in his head. But to sleep naked in a... I'm sorry, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I would think that a bit of a strange one. And you know, when they're like 4, 5, 6, but I think once it gets to 7, 8, 9, from there on, when things, that is it. You know, they are not naked. I mean, my grandson sleeps with me. He's 9, nearly 10.
Yeah.
But never, you know, I mean, of course not. That would just be horrendous. I don't know if I'm being rather prudish about it, and I sound it, but it has to be wrong because of what the boy's going through himself.
It's interesting because obviously this is a mum who, she was an anonymous woman who, she put a question out on a Q&A website. 500,000 people have viewed the question. Thousands and thousands of people have replied. The vast majority of them saying that obviously what you picked up on is that he's going through a confusing time of his own, his teenager, hormones and this sort of stuff. And there could be some blurred boundaries there that could confuse things.
Yeah.
This is very different to if your child is poorly and, you know, upset or something like that and comes into bed with you for the night. This is different to...
I think if she obviously, I don't think she's been verified, but she's anonymous, but if she's asking the question, then obviously in her mind she's thinking, I don't think this is right. And you're right, a mother and son relationship, that is blurring the boundaries. And I know what you mean, that you kind of think, oh, am I being prudish by thinking that? But it's not really about that. It's about people having their own...
The fact she's thinking about it means it's not sitting right with her. And also, fine if they want to... I don't know what the circumstances are. Maybe they live in a one-bedroom flat or whatever. Fine, but why do you have to be naked? Put your jammies on, woman.
Exactly.
You know, but having said that, it's really weird because when I was over in Spain recently with Kira, it is very different, the European mentality to nakedness and compared to ours, and this was in America,
This was in America,
they are much more at ease with their bodies. And you know, there was a family that their son must have been about 10 and he got out the pool and he was getting dressed, and he just, I mean, he's only 10, but even so, he's stripped naked by the pool and put on his clean clothes. Well, he's walking about for a bit first. And even Kira went, oh, God, I'm not comfortable with that. You know what I mean? And I thought, isn't it funny, though, because that family weren't aware of it.
I was literally...
So I do think it's a different... Maybe we are a bit prudish here. I personally, not in a million years, I'm not saying I wouldn't...
I think in that case,
if I would sleep in bed with my children, but I would never be naked.
If I was coming out of the shower, I wouldn't... you know, because I'm obviously naked because I just come out of the shower, I wouldn't sort of go, oh, I'm absolutely fine when my kids see me naked. But, A, it's a boy, a 16-year-old boy, which I think, you know, and their bodies are developing as well. And secondly, it's quite a sort of a willful act to take all your clothes off and get into bed.
And the other thing was, do you remember, I remember my brother, who's 2 years older than me, and we always had a bath together, And then there was one point when my mother said, no, not tonight. No, you're not going in tonight. And I'd go, I'm going in. My mother used to shout, flannel! To my brother, flannel! And I never understood it, because obviously he would cover. But that's the age. What is the age when you say, no, things are changing now, you cannot even do that?
And it's interesting, obviously, you know, he's 16 and, you know, my son is nearly 15. And I suppose if we were going away on holiday or something like that at the age of 15, I suppose I'd still share a double bed with him if I needed to. But both of us wearing...
You know,
and
what about your children having baths together? When did that stop? Or?
Oh, that was a long time, quite a long time ago, because there's 5 years difference between them, and Finley's older and he's younger.
Quite a lot, isn't
I mean, we went on holiday about 3 years ago, I think it was now, and we all shared a room. So it was a double bed and a pull-out bed, and I shared a bed with Finley, who would have been 12, 11, 12 then. And you'd think, well, why didn't I share with Amy, who's smaller? She sleeps sideways. There is no... She wrestles crocodiles in her sleep. Finley just goes, good night, and goes to sleep. So there was no... But we didn't even think anything of it. He didn't think anything of it. But he was younger then, at 16,
also,
definitely not naked.
I mean, just imagine a 16-year-old boy going to school and...
Yes,
people and just saying, oh, you know, I sleep in a bed with my mother naked. I mean,
we just sleep in bed with my mum generally.
But do we have a problem? Do you think we have a problem with nakedness? Because, you know, when you do come out the shower or you sit in the bath, I mean, I know mothers that sit in bath with their children, it's not a problem, but not in bed. I think it's a slightly different thing, isn't it?
It's his age.
Don't you think as well it's different for... It's different for dads as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a much harder situation with dads and daughters. You know, I went away with Kira, we slept in the same bed, and I've done it, you know, with the boys when they're 14 or 15. Never naked, always jammies on. But Ray would find it hard now, because I went away a week with Kira, but he said if he now went away for a week with Kira, he would feel that she would need her own room.
Oh, yes, of course.
You know, because she's 15.
Yeah.
You know, and he just said I would feel uncomfortable for her, and he'd be worried about what people thought.
Yeah. If you thought that got heated, wait until you watch these and click here to subscribe. You may as well. It's totally free.